Pero. 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 Pero.
Alright, there's the preview for today's lesson, or this week's lesson, whatever you'd like to call it. So, back to Hall of the Mountain King by Savatage, and this is going to cover the licks or guitar fills that happen in, I guess, some of the chorus stuff. So there's 4 of them, and they're not crazy hard. Some of them might be, one of them might be a challenge because you're picking 6 notes a beat at 126 beats a minute. So that might be pretty fast for some people. And then we've got the last one, number 4. That's the most challenging one I felt. That one I had to do with a metronome to get everything all up to speed and lined up all nice and proper. So let's get cracking at it. Alright, so this is tuned down a whole step, and the low E is tuned down, well, 2 whole steps. Basically you drop D, but then you drop down another whole step for everything. So, known as drop C tuning for the licks and fills. Really not necessary to put the low E string down 2 steps, but some of the slide stuff that kind of doing, like the sliding out of stuff, I am taking into account it's a drop C. So even still, things are so fast when you're sliding out of it, like this note here. It's kind of not the most important thing, you know. Yeah. So there's definitely a lot of reverb in the guitars in this song, so I have a little bit of delay and reverb on right now. So I don't think it's too much. But lick number 1, get to it. The hell am I wasting all this time burning my mouth for? One thing to point out, like this little triplet right here, I tried to make it sound correct in Guitar Pro, and this seemed to help. But basically, like, I'm just hitting the 5 and sliding up to 10 right away. And when I was practicing it, was looping that part of the song quite a lot and just getting the timing right with that. But that seems to be at least a very close approximation to everything, if it's not quite dead on yet. Let me change one little thing here real quick. Just noticed the grace notes are a different fret size that I want. Alright, there we go. Now I can see those better. Alright, so lick number 1, slowly, something like this. Again. For some reason, this group of notes right here just tends to confuse me. I don't know why that is. Let's play it slow one more time. And then more up to speed. So, probably the trickiest part would be the bends right here. Basically, once you hit that 12, you're going to go, so 1, 2, 3, and then that's it right there. And so one continuous bend, just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And I guess let's talk about this here in case this is a new thing for you, for some of you. This is marked as a 3/4 step bend. That seemed to be about where it was in the recording. But I think I usually just go up a whole step. But doing this lick, or part of the lick, so you're bending that guy up like right away, and then when you come down, you release, you're going to pull off to the 5, and then pick the 7. So when you do that pull off, make sure your middle finger gets the hell out of there. So this way you're not doing this. You don't want to do that. So get the middle finger out of the way. So it sounds like that. Alright. Move on to lick number 2. So because of the reverb and like it's these fills or licks, they don't stand out like really obvious in the mix. You can definitely hear them. Obviously they're there, but it kind of blends a little bit to me. Like blends in with the other things happening, and it doesn't stand out as much as like the intro solo or the main solo in the middle of the song. It didn't stand out in the mix as much as the solo stuff. So when I was playing along to this part, these sextuplets here, that felt best to me. I do question if he's actually just playing 16th notes, 4 notes a click. And it could be that, but this way up on the screen right now, it just felt better to me, sounded better to me. So I guess that could be an option for you. If you're having a hard time keeping up with 6 notes a beat, maybe just try 4 notes a beat. And if that sounds good to you, well, there you go. That's all that really matters, is if you're happy with how it sounds. But I'll be going over the 6 note beat way, or 6 note per beat way, because that's what sounded best to me. So when I'm doing this, I'm doing a finger roll there, going from the E string to the B string. And then when I go to this part, I'm going for my index finger that's still on the same note. I need my middle finger to go down to the G string. So let's play that whole line somewhat slow here. So we get that little hammer on pull off here, and then we're going to slide from the 7 to the 10. I'm shifting my hand down to get to the 7, and sliding right back up. So slow again. Kind of a gross slide. So let's play it more up to speed now. Nice little pitch gotten in there. Alright, on to lick number 3. Not too much going on with this. He does sound like he steps away from the key on this 19th fret here. I don't know if that was on purpose or it's just one of those play something here and just we'll keep the best take. Because I listened to at least 1, maybe 2 live recordings of them on stage, or watching videos of it, and it seems like none of these fills were ever done again. So it was definitely just like a play something at this point sort of thing. So yeah, but let's go over how it would sound. And this is one of these instances, or this lick has an instance where you're just kind of hitting the low E string and just sliding out. So here we go. So you gotta be bending that 13th fret like right away on the upbeat of 1. So you go up, down, up, all in one pick stroke. Try and get that vibrato at the top there. So when you're doing a vibrato bend, after you get it up, you're basically just coming back down a little bit and then right back up, down a little bit, right back up. Man, so I'm using the drop tune pedal right now. This way I don't have to retune the whole guitar. The sustain is crap. So that bend didn't last worth a shit there. That's basically the idea. You just bend it up and then come down a little bit. So you don't want to do this. That's just a series of a lot of full bends going back down and back up. So the vibrato is just like, you come down like maybe like a quarter step. So a little bit, back up, a little bit, back up, a little bit, back up. It takes a good amount of practice to get comfortable with it. It's like a very subtle thing, and you're doing it fairly quick. So it's kind of one of those techniques you just kind of know what it is you're supposed to do, and you got to do it a lot until you get the feel of it, I think. Kind of like with pinch harmonics, like, oh, you can... This pedal doesn't help with pinch harmonics at all. But basically, you know, it's like knowing that the thumb and the pick basically need to hit the string about the same time. Oh God. Yeah, that pedal. Anyway, so yeah, you just kind of have to just do it a bunch until you get the feel for it. With pinch harmonics, same with the vibrato in a bend. So anyway, so after you do the bend, I'm sliding up with my middle finger to the 19th fret. This way my ring finger is available to hit the 20 to get that bend up there. And then I'm just taking the pinky and just kind of trying to get up to fret 24 and sliding down there. If you don't have 24 frets, well, you hit 22 or whatever you got, and just slide on down there. So slow. And more up to speed. So it's probably one of the, I'd say that's probably the easiest out of all four of these. First one would be second difficulty, and then the second lick, that would be the third in difficulty. The fourth lick is the hardest one. This is the one I had to work up. And of course Guitar Pro 6 makes some of these slides look like garbage. So just for the sake of the video, let's make it a little easier to see. Maybe I should leave it like that for the PDF as well. Slides look fine in Guitar Pro 7. So Guitar Pro 6 and 7, they both have their pros and cons. Unfortunately, we can't merge all of the pros into one thing. Alright. So, you see we have some 16th notes for the most part. However, we got some 32nd notes happening in a few spots. When I practiced this, I played it as if it were halftime. So basically, note-wise, look like this. God, well, I didn't carry over too well. So in other words, like I practiced the 16th notes as if they were 8th notes, and I practiced the 16th note, or sorry, I practiced the 32nd notes as if they were 16th notes. So basically, this highlighted portion, I was practicing it going, you know, 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 3 and 4. And that bend at the end is really weird. Like you hear it in the recording, it has like a what the hell? Why'd you pick that note kind of thing. But it's like it fits, but it almost doesn't to my ear. But it's just me. But that's pretty much what it is right there. So again, counting it when I'm practicing, like with the metronome, I'm going 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 3 and 4. practice. I didn't even bother that slide at the end. I just like, okay, now it's time to record the preview, so I better do it. So more up to speed, it would be something like, well, let's go medium paced. Medium pace first. And then there's a little slide at the end there, and then more up to speed we've got. Let's put that back where it was. So this was a fairly challenging one, or a fairly challenging lick and fill to figure out because, again, as mentioned before, these fills don't really stand out in the mix big time. They're kind of blended in there, and so there might be more going on with this, but when I singled out this part of the guitar, or this part of the song, good God, when I singled out the part of the stereo field where it sounded like this lead was happening, and I slowed things down and was listening to like 1 or 2 beats at a time, this is what it sounded like. So if it sounds like there's more notes going on, I think it might be like the delay or the reverb reacting to what he's playing, and it might make it sound like there's more going on than there really is. But again, when I slow it down and I'm listening to like a couple beats at a time, it sounds like this. You got the mix of the 16th notes and the 32nd notes happening there. So it's not like a continuous 8 note per beat thing. Some of it is 4 notes a beat, some of it is 8 notes a beat, it sounds like, but like when I play along to it, it sounds like it matches up just fine. But hopefully you think so too. And let's see, is there anything else about this? What can I say here? So I mean, like with the first beat there, you're just going like straight down the scale. And then when you get here to start that slide part, I'm going with my index finger, and then you're doing the same thing again, just a step lower. And then here, there's kind of an interesting pattern there. So it's not going straight down the scale or anything, or it's not going straight down the scale, it's kind of bouncing around the notes a little bit, so it makes it more interesting that way. And then when we got the next slide part, it's basically a reverse gallop happening. So here I'm using I'm always pulling off to the pulling off to my first finger, pick, pull, slide, pick, pull, slide, and then here with the bend, that's a classic bend lick right there, which is basically what's happening. So you bend up 12 all the way. I'm just using my middle 2 fingers here for that bend. This way I can get to the 10th fret on the B string right away. And then bending up with my middle finger and index finger for that 11th fret there. Whoop. That's kind of what it's, without the bends, that's basically what it's supposed to sound like. That's a tricky half-step bend to really get sound good. Well, especially if I don't even grab the string. That was too high. It's more like it. It actually helps to throw the vibrato in. This way, if you under or overshoot the note, you're like, oh, it's around here somewhere kind of thing. So there's a little trick for you. You're doing bends, you're going to make sure it sounds really good. Get used to those vibratos, because this way if you bend up too high or too low, then the vibrato will like kind of hide the mistake there. Alright, so there we go. All 4 licks and fills. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will be doing the main solo as well. That'll be coming up soon. And always, if you have any suggestions, anything you'd like to see in a video lesson, let me know. And this video is done now.